Judicial Watch has been calling attention to the schemes of the Clinton gang for some time, especially as it relates to the State Department. And it goes back to 2009 when we highlighted the fact that Hillary Clinton, who promised, she had this deal where she would come in and to take care of the concerns of both Republicans and Democrats, including the new President Obama, that Bill Clinton's speechifying and other international deal-making would present conflicts of interest. She promised that she would vet all those conflicts of interest at the State Department before anything happened. So if there was a speech or a deal, there would be a vetting process. But this is what happened. And we suspected it was going to be a scam, and we highlighted the fact you can't trust them back then. But of course, it's Judicial Watch, and Judicial Watch isn't in the United States Senate, and Republicans just do whatever they want. And of course, Obama got his Secretary of State. And Hillary Clinton started violating that promise and agreement almost immediately in terms of taking money from foreign governments that she promised she wouldn't be taking at the foundation. And we did find, and we asked for, these conflict of interest agreements. How did this vetting happen? Now, we got the hand to the face from the Clinton State Department, and we had to sue. Frankly, we didn't get documents until Hillary Clinton left office at the State Department. And the documents were shocking because they showed, and again, this is something we exposed back in 2014. And here's the headline from 2014, and we'll put this, we'll find this release, and those of you watching can Google it as well and maybe help your fellow viewers and start posting the link. State Department approved 215 Bill Clinton speeches, controversial consulting deal worth $48 million. Hillary Clinton's chief of staff copied on all decisions. $48 million. And they were rubber stamping them all. I think there was one deal at the time that had been turned aside. There were a few others subsequently that were found that were turned aside. But essentially, nothing was found to be a conflict of interest. So Bill Clinton was getting money from the Russians, the Saudis, the Chinese, you name the foreign interest, you name the foreign government, you name the foreign corporation. State Department didn't give a rat's tail about it. And this wasn't money that was going into the Clinton Foundation per se. This was money that was going into the personal coffers of Hillary and Bill Clinton. If Bill Clinton made $500 grand on a speech, that money obviously went to him personally. Now recall, Bill and Hillary Clinton are married. So money that goes to Bill Clinton goes to Hillary Clinton. So Hillary Clinton was getting money from foreign governments while she was Secretary of State. You would think that would be occasion for a serious investigation. But instead, based on what we now know this week, they were burying the investigation or afraid to move with it in an appropriate fashion. And one of the speeches we found that was approved without a blink was a $500,000 speech to a group called Renaissance Capital, I think it's Renaissance Capital in Russia. And they were a front group for the Russian government, and they were also involved in the Uranium One deal. So how do you like them apples? This has been out there since 2014. Clinton Cash, I think, was 2015, New York Times 2015, and only now do we get a senator, Charles Grassley, saying he wants to investigate this. And then, of course, we have the crisis, as I pointed out earlier, of the Justice Department and the FBI and perhaps the White House covering all this up. They knew about the scheme. They allowed the Uranium One deal to go forward anyway, even though they knew the Russians were spending money illegally and trying to get bribes passed to get this deal done. So who in the FBI is responsible for covering this up? Was Mueller? Was Comey? Eric Holder? Loretta Lynch? Who else in the Justice Department who's still there was involved in the investigation? Who else in the FBI who's still there is involved in the investigation? I tell you what, if I were President Trump, I'd say thank you, Jeff Sessions, thank you, Director Wray, but we need an outside clean team to come in and evaluate what went on here.